Thank you very much, everyone. So let's start. I hope this will work. Okay, it doesn't look like. Okay, so she's my granny. I grew up with her, so it's a very important person for me. And she used to say something all the time, is, Celi, todo el mundo es necesario, pero nadie imprescindible. Everyone is necessary, nobody indispensable. But today, I'm here to tell you that there is ways to make you indispensable in the AI area. So people are scared that AI will steal our jobs. But in reality, AI will not steal our jobs. Someone using AI will do it. And we're going to see some skills that us as human is going to make us irreplaceable. Just something to say is, I wanted to mention, is that according to a survey by Michael Page, 77% of hiring managers prioritize human skills over hard skills. And that, I experienced that myself. So talking a bit about my history, my name is Celia, I'm Spanish, from a small town in the south of Spain called Granada. And I studied in IT, I studied languages at the university, but I applied for a job in a consultancy company for a multilingual call center. And they called me, the HR called me and they said, oh, we want to hire you, but not for the call center job, but for IT. And I said, IT? I mean, I'm good at computers, but I don't have any technical background. They said, yeah, we understand, but we saw you in the interviews and we appreciate your human skills. So we'd rather hire you and teach you what you need to know about IT, rather than hiring an IT person and teaching your human skills. I was like, wow, okay, that's super powerful, so let's do it, right? And so I did, and that was 15 years ago. And since then, I've been working in the IT department for one of the biggest companies in the world, like Nestle, PepsiCo, Zurich Insurance, and Danone. And now I have my own consultancy company that I help businesses to manage vendor performance. So just for you to know, to understand the power of the human skills. And I think that nowadays, with AI and technology advancing so hard, we really need to empower those human skills. Okay. So, before we move into the actual human skills, I want to ask you a question. So how many of you knows the real difference between hard skills and human skill, aka soft skills? Okay, you want to say some words?
Well, for me, hard skill that I learned and basically a technical skill.
Technical skills, correct.
And human, not very much learned in the habit of thought.
Correct. So yeah, no, but you're right. The hard skills are the technical skills, so something that you learn. We learn at school, we learn at the university. So I have a degree in marketing. I know how to use a CRM tool. That's really hard skills, and they're teachable. Soft skills also, you can improve them, but they're more connected to humans. They are the ones that enable us to connect, to talk, to lead, to create. And I don't like the word soft, because I don't think there's anything soft on them. On the opposite, I think nowadays they're stronger than ever. And if I want to leave this room today with a key message for you, is to empower you to use your human skills. Okay, so talking about human skills, there are lots of human skills, but I want to focus on what I think are the 4 key ones. And then I hope we're going to start some kind of debate. And, well, let's see. The first one I want to talk is about adaptability. Adaptability. And I put myself in in a surf, that's me, yes, surfing. So surfing is one of my passions, and that's also one of the reasons why I'm here in Portugal. But surfing for me is not just one sport. For me, it's a methodology, and it's teaching me a lot of things, not just on real but professional life. So it teaches you to be patient until you wait for the perfect wave, the power to just paddle out to make the most out of the moment, and of course to adaptability, because sometimes the ocean, it can be unpredictable, just as life. So we need to understand to adapt and to, as I said, to actually go with the flow, because sometimes with life, we can't control life, but we can control how we react to the situations. So it happened to me last weekend. I was surfing in a new spot, and it was really foggy. It was a current, and I panicked because I tried to catch a wave, and then the current kind of pushed me towards some rocks, and I panicked, and I was really scared. And at the end of the day, I said, okay, Celia, just breathe, take a breath, calm down, check the situation. And potentially the same ocean that was trying to harm me inside, I had a couple of waves that pushed me towards the shore, and I managed to get in. So that also taught me a really good lessons. Like, whenever we are in difficult situation, it's important to calm down, to breathe, and just go with the flow. The second one that for me is super important as well is effective communication. And communication is not just words. Because actually, 90% of 90% of language is not words, it's like body language. So it's only, 97% of the communication is not verbal. 7% is only the words you said. 55% is your body language. 38% is the tone that you use. So it's important when we want to have an effective communication to understand our audience, to understand what they feel, what their needs are. And we're going to see later on as well how we can apply that to our personal branding as well. So if you want to communicate well, not just use words, use your body language and understand your audience. Okay, now I want to talk about empathy, and but for that I'm going to show this video that I think it explains a bit more than that, and then I'm going to open a bit for questions and debate. Okay, so I hope the sound is good.
So what is empathy, and why is it very different than sympathy? Empathy fuels connection, sympathy drives disconnection. Empathy, it's very interesting. Teresa Wiseman is a nursing scholar who studied professions, very diverse professions where empathy is relevant, and came up with 4 qualities of empathy. Perspective taking, the ability to take the perspective of another person or recognize their perspective as their truth. Staying out of judgment, not easy when you enjoy it as much as most of us do. Recognizing emotion in other people and then communicating that. Empathy is feeling with people. And to me, I always think of empathy as this kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout out from the bottom and they say, I'm stuck, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, I'm down, I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no, you want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with at least. I have it, yeah. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, And we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. If I share something with you that's very difficult, I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now, I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
Okay. So, any thoughts? Someone wants to share something.
Discover effective empathy.
Effective empathy. It's amazing because I know we sometimes want to help other people that feel bad about something, and we think that by just saying, no, forget about it, you'll be fine, it will help them. But it's not. That's not real empathy, that's sympathy. What we should do in that case is just sit down with the person and say, I'm here for you. If you need anything, here I am. And I really like this video because I think it shows really well. And not everyone is conscious about it. But first when I saw it, I was like, wow, it's super powerful. It's from my TED Talk. You should check it out, from Renato. I put it in the references at the end of the presentation in case you want to check. But I think it has very powerful moment, and for me, sympathy and empathy and emotional intelligence, it's one of the key human skills that we should have nowadays if we want to be successful. Because AI can analyze data, AI can produce anything, but AI cannot create this type of connections as human beings.
I think I totally agree with you. I think it's a connection to a creative part in ourselves. It's almost like when we cannot feel, there's a part in us not really understanding that we're in a creative process and can really create something completely new.
Yeah.
So it's really extremely powerful.
Yeah. Thanks.
Celia, sorry.
Go ahead, Felipe. Yes.
Okay. We have I think it's very pretty that you were saying about empathy, but in the presentation, on the paper, this is all fairy tale. This is all beautiful. My experience, okay.
Mm-hmm.
I immigrated to Portugal, and here I think everybody knows the Brazilian community here is huge.
Yeah.
You know, and when I tried to came from and came and asked for help, the whole community says "fuck you." Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so I think we have two. I think we have two moments for empathy here. We have the toxic empathy that I don't mean nothing.
Sorry to interrupt, Felipe. Don't call that empathy, because that's bullshit. Sorry to say, that's people being mean to you. That's not toxic empathy.
No, okay, and okay. And we have this kind of stuff because all the experiences, even job experiences,
Mm-hmm.
because okay, some companies think this is important, but other companies don't. So I have a question for you.
Yeah.
For you, in your opinion, how do you balance, the fucking capitalism? We need money. We need to make money, and we need better understanding of our crew, of our team. I need to know. I need to hear about your opinion. How you think have a balance? Because sometimes I think this empathy doesn't have space. For example, in our companies, they are having they're starting to see with different point of view, with different eyes.
But it's changing now, don't you think? Comparing to 20 years ago, it's evolving. I mean, we're not going to change capitalism from one day to another. We cannot break it. It's a system that is established. But we can't change the people. We can't change the mindset of the people that manage capitalism.
Nice.
It always starts with yourself, right?
Yes,
Because
exactly.
I believe that the question is how you can get more empathy for other people as well, right? At least I.
And you can start with your day-to-day. Don't need to start super hard. Just start with your day-to-day to say, how can I be more empath to someone today? How can I understand those people feeling? So if I'm driving a car and I nearly hit because someone was crossing, instead of just saying the other person something bad, just think that maybe the other person was in a rush because someone was getting from the family was getting ill and she was rushing to the hospital. So it's just trying to understand the feelings of the other person.
I think empathy needs to come from a very genuine place.
Yes.
Like, you can't fake
Thank
it.
you, Joana. I believe in that.
But I think you're saying the same.
Yeah.
Like, you just need to actually, you can't fake it. It's something you can't fake.
And I think like
Sorry, I have
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
someone-
Someone
yes.
else.
Yeah, so can empathy be grown in a person? And if it is so, what is the system to grow it?
The first thing is to understand that and the willingness to change. So the first, it's to understand that you have a need and then to work towards that. The way you can is, for me, from my point of view, is to try to speak with people that think differently to you. Traveling, for me, traveling also opened my mind, and the fact that to understand that there's other cultures that think differently. For example, I don't know if you realized in one of the pictures I was showing, I went to India when I was 25. My company sent me for 3 months there. And so I was, younger, 25-year-old, that was responsible for a team that was offshore from Spain to India. And I had to train the people. So that team there was a team, it was all guys, super nice, but at the beginning, just the fact for being a woman, but they didn't kind of talk to me. So for me at the beginning was a bit of a shock, because in Spain we are like hugging everyone and kissing, and so just the fact that going there, living there, understanding the culture. At the beginning, I took it like personally, like, oh, did I do something wrong because they're not talking to me, because they're questioning all the things. And until I understood that these people also, their reaction was bad to me because I was a Western person that was suddenly arriving in there, telling them how they need to do things, paying a salary that wasn't good either. So of course they felt also like a bit invaded by me. So as soon as I realized and I put myself into the shoes, I tried to adapt my language, and that helped the way that the team transformed over the months.
I think it depends a lot from values of the person or the values of the company where you're working.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can be very empathic person and have beautiful hard skills, but the culture inside the company needs other person that will be very not so soft as I said. Okay. And there is a very nice and interesting theory. The name is spiral dynamics. It said how we grow up, our thoughts and our intelligence and our values, they grows up with us from the first very conservative point when you are small and you believe in the rules of your parents, of your country, and then when you grow up you understand that you want to be the part of our world and help people.
Yeah.
So the psychologist said that if you use psychologists, if you're interested about psychology and behavior of the other people, it really helps to grow up from conservative values to very humanistic values. So maybe if somebody will interested, I've got books about these theories also. I can.
Okay, that'd be interesting, and you can share maybe in the group so everyone knows. I'd be interested to read more about it. Thank you. And Daniela?
Yeah, no, just to complement the idea, I was also thinking that empathy has a lot to do with the first one that you said, adaptability. You know, because only when you are exposed to different opinions is when you actually start like connecting, because you start seeing like other perspectives. So you can feel easily empathy when somebody agrees with you, but I think the real challenge is when somebody doesn't agree with you and you have to train your mind to start like looking at a different perspective. So actually that helps a lot, because it also provides you to a lot of growth. And yeah, like I think the first thing that we all like need to do is to be aware of like we are not the owners of the absolute truth.
Yes,
you know?
correct.
And have like the humility to accept that, and that way we can like start spreading a little empathy, you know, because when we know this, we transmit the message to other people, and as soon as more people start getting more empathy, I think situations like yours. Yeah, sorry, I forgot.
Felipe.
Yeah. Sorry.
Led by example.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's lack of empathy. And what happened to you was also lack of empathy, I think, you know, because companies sometimes don't feel like they understand fully the situations, you know, of the people. But I think the more we are spreading empathy, the more those situations are going to end eventually.
Yeah, I believe this, but sometimes, what I'm talking about, the toxic empathy,
Yes.
that I would say,
Yeah.
the bullshit,
Like-
in my opinion. But
like-
I did this, and for me, I would put this in this way. It's like I'm caring too much for the others that I was forgetting to have empathy with myself. To you know, and for me sometimes we already had this conversation in the last.
Yes, we did.
Sometimes it's hard to say, okay, I'm here, I'm present for everybody. I'm trying to understand their problems. I'm trying to be the best for the others, but when or how someone will be there for me as well, you know.
Yeah, but if I may say that, to complement to that, my opinion, humble opinion, is that you need to be good to yourself first. And that way you can be better with the people. So in the same way that you put all the effort to help other people, do that with you first. And I can guarantee you will be better with the others.
Also wanted to add to your point, I'm actually going through this with the therapist right now, and he mentioned one very important thing, that you shouldn't expect from people, they don't owe you anything. When you expect, when you put your expectations on someone, and you expect to care for you, and you don't care for yourself first, then probably your expectations will be met. And yeah, so probably lowering expectations from others helps as well.
Yeah, thank you.
But also, some people, they are people we.
Yes.
About contact and community. And some people are about me, myself. And you should understand that you should not be the person that you are not. If you are a we person, it's okay. Be happy with this. Just find your own rules. When you try to start to be selfish, it's not about you. I got these feelings a few years ago when I wanted to find my place in this world, and I was thinking, okay, I will be not for the people, I will be for myself like others. And I was not happy with this. So it's important, Felipe, maybe it helps you to understand if you like people so much, if you are a weak person, just find your rules when you'll be happy with these rules and with yourself.
I think my problem is not the rules, is sometimes the social battery sometimes run out, but therapy. Yeah, it's curing me. Everybody should be
I agree.
on the therapy because it's, but
That's good. Okay.
I think, just to add to what you were said, to be comfortable with the discomfort is really like a key. And to be brave in order to jump into a space where you usually feel very uncomfortable is the key to empathy, because that's where you see yourself reflected by the other person, and you can make a completely different choice in how you interact with them.
No, thank you.
Like to add to that, sorry.
You can go.
Being vulnerable also helps, because vulnerability is very connected with empathy. When you are able to be vulnerable with someone, then person also develops the empathy, and you can develop the empathy to yourself and to others as well.
Yeah.
So being open and not being afraid of being vulnerable.
Good.
I just wanted to add, I really like the video because it connected so much with me, the example on sympathy saying, it was not necessarily that it was saying, but do you need help? But when I'm at the top of the ladder doing things, don't worry, I'm doing this.
Yeah.
It's very different. Someone asks if you need help when they are all comfortable and you are doing the nasty things, from the people that just get the next light bulb and go change it. So I'm just saying, it's like what we are doing right now. Jamili arrives very early. The TV is here, the things are all in place. She's not asking for help. She's doing it. But there are people that are arriving early. Like that was my example. I'm arriving early and I'm fixing the desk. So I feel this is more and I really like the video because of it. The guy that went down and
sat with the person.
Let's do it.
I'm just here. And you saw that he was also connected, saying, in order to connect with the other person, you need to connect with your feelings.
Yeah.
Say, I know I feel bad in the past and I understand that you're bad, just sitting next to you. So good. Let's we need to sorry, no.
I just wanted to do a question that was thinking a lot about this subject about the empathy, and the empathy sometimes depends on the places and the atmosphere, on the comfort zone we are, and or the uncomfort zone we are not with the kind of people we are not. We tend to be more not so impacted, and when I was in my 20s, I was driving a lot. I was working in sales. And my God, I was like a bad relation in the traffic. I just get nervous and furious in the traffic jams, especially against the taxi drivers. And because the taxi drivers, I went to yoga class.
Okay.
When I was
Thanks
26,
to that.
27. And one day happened an episode. Really, a taxi driver was in front of me. I really get overwhelmed, and I just pointing the middle finger and said to him, "Fuck off! Just get the fuck off my front." And just 200 meters ahead, I stopped in a small little tavern here in Arroios that calls Taxi. Okay, the name of this little restaurant is Taxi because all the taxi drivers stop there for the lunch, and they have it's a really nice restaurant. You should try.
Yeah.
And I stopped there just right away, 5 minutes after, and I met with the guy, but he didn't recognize me. I recognized him. Okay, and I was seated just aside of him, and we asked for the beers, and then was like playing, was in the TV news. Benfica was giving like the highlights of the game of Benfica, and then we start to talk, and we empathize very fast right there. Okay, and so we tend to empathize in the places that we feel comfortable with the people that we feel connection, we are like-minded, or we share the same thoughts and feelings. Okay, the really hard way is to empathize with someone that is really different than you, your background, ethnicity. If you are from Sporting, I'm from Benfica. I have friends from Sporting, so nothing against. Okay, and to put, like you said, put on the other side, on the other shoes. Okay, it's really something that needs practice.
Yes.
It needs practice. It needs to get out from your comfort zone, and you put yourself in uncomfort places with uncomfort people. Okay, that you're going to train to be more this is something that you train to empathize with different kinds of people in different kinds of situations, to try to see their person's view. You need to hear, but you need to hear with really you really to make questions about what can you say in different words what you're saying. What you're saying sounds like this in my words. Can you summarize what you just said, because I didn't understand?
Yeah.
Okay, it really demands lots of practice. Yeah.
Yes, but I think we all start with awareness. And for me, that would be the key takeaways I want you to take, is at least to be aware of those human skills. So when you're back home, you start your day-to-day life, I hope you can apply some of this and be a better version of yourselves going forward. Okay, I think we have one more human skills, and then we have a few more things to talk. I don't know in terms of time. Okay. Good. So the last one for me is about curiosity. Being curious about learning, being curious about innovate, because I think curiosity drives creativity. If you're curious about something, you start digging out to understand and to investigate how you can improve, how you can make something better. So for me, creativity and the ability to learn, it's also one of the key human skills that we should use and will make us indispensable. In my case, especially since I started my entrepreneurship career, because I have any background or any training, so I did a course on personal branding where I learned a lot. I will give you some tips later on, also about entrepreneurship, about marketing. That was also one of the reasons why I'm joining this kind of community. So I think we can learn in so many things. Now with technology, we can go on YouTube and there's a big encyclopedia that is free from everyone. We can listen to podcasts, we can read books about everything. But the key thing is that we actually need to put it into practice, because there's no point to learn and accumulate knowledge if we don't apply it. So my piece of advice here that I want to share with you is something that I do. So if I'm reading a book or I'm listening to a podcast and I hear about an interesting topic or an interesting action that I could apply, suddenly stop the book or stop the podcast. Go to my calendar, set up a date and a time where I'm going to apply it. So for me, this actually, it's helping me to not just learn new things, but to actually take an actions and apply. I don't know if you want to share anything, any experience around learning and curiosity. Silo?
Yeah, I believe that's very, very important. And I'm very grateful because I got into personal development, right? When you say, like, trying to be the best version of ourselves. I'm very grateful because I kind of found that world at 17. So since a young age, I just study mentors and study successful people. And my goal was to be like them. So I was trying to learn what world the skills that they knew, what was the mindset behind. So yeah, I think life is all about continuous learning, right? And sometimes even, for example, with our parents or other family members that normally are older, that are very like closed-minded and not into learning more, right? And even sometimes I'm young, so sometimes I speak with older people. Even those people, sometimes I cannot give value, but sometimes as I'm a kid, they see it in a different way. No, but I believe that it's very, very important, and it's like the Kobe Bryant says, the Mamba mentality.
Yeah.
Being on a constant quest being on a constant quest, chasing the best version of yourself. So yeah, I'm very into it, and yeah, that's a great topic.
Yeah.
I want to say that when we know our weaknesses and we want to improve that. So I knew that I had a stage fear. So I started Toastmasters now and I'm doing public speaking. So I've improved a lot. So it really helped me, and so learning is never ends.
Never
So we
ends.
should learn and learn the whole life.
Yeah, I think I like this quote from Mahatma Gandhi: "Live as you die tomorrow, and then a people will live forever." So, okay,
Celia,
yeah,
this continuous learning, there's something that, as Zillow said, even the straight minds could teach us very nice things. For example, how not to be like them. You know,
You can always learn from
their mistakes.
Everything.
We all learn from mistakes.
yes, and there's about continuous learning. I have a thing that I want to share. I choose to learn nowadays. I choose to learn things that I think that I would never do. For example, programming, like learning how to program, cooking, and it's very funny when we put this in when we put ourselves in this little challenges. You know, for example, I will do pastel de nata without a recipe.
Okay.
No.
I did. And it's what you said. Learn by mistakes.
Exactly.
And I think this is the wonderful thing because nowadays everybody's saying, oh, we have to learn with the nice cases, success, how they get there. But we always try to learn with the success, never with the failures. I think we should balance our continuous learning with failures and success because so we can copy. It's like I said.
I agree with you. All my learnings were from failures. The biggest learnings in my life were all from failures.
I don't want to know how Bill Gates
And
get
it's okay.
Microsoft. I want to know how they fail, how Warren is failing until he gets in Microsoft. You know?
Yeah.
I think the process is better than the.
Now we're back in empathy, right? So we just said, like, let's learn from failure. Now we have empathy to our own failures. Here we go.
Yeah.
There is a strategy when you decided what things you should learn to be. For example, you want to be a big boss. What you need, which skills, and what should you do for first year and then second, and so on. And there is a second strategy when you just want to do something and start with it. All my history, all the time I was learning like the first person. I got the strategy and I knew that I need 1, 2, 3 to be the best in something, for example, in marketing. But 2 years before, I started learning astrology.
Okay.
Just because I like it.
Yeah.
So I didn't have any energy for more than 1 year after war in Russia started. And when I started astrology, just for myself, not to be the best on this and not to make the astrology things for other persons, I feel a lot of energy inside.
Yeah.
So after that, I can come back in marketing. And there is a wonderful when you just started to learn something and it gives you a lot of energy in your other points of life.
And you can apply all the knowledge that you did on astrology into marketing, and it will make you, again, going back to our section later, a personal branding will make you unique.
Yeah.
So that's super valuable. So congratulations on that.
And it's also about creativity. Some people, they just started to dance or to write the songs, and it helps to find their own way, path, to have a lot of energy for other things that are not so funny or creative.
Yeah. So,
yeah, it just reminded me when you told that when you hear something, then you put it into the calendar. But I had this thing because I used to like write a lot of ideas whenever I like read something. I'm like, oh my god, I'm gonna do this, and then it ended up being just a notebook. So I put this rule like, I have 48 hours to at least do the first step. So it's also like you do the calendar, but maybe for me works okay. I write it down, and then I have 48 hours to do it. It's like the first step.
Yeah, that's a good tip. What I do as well is I don't know if you read Second Brain from Tiago Forte. It's also I can put it in the references as well, and that helped me a lot in terms of productivity because it's one thing that resonates to me is that when I do a list of to-do things, I don't categorize them. Because then it will end up, as you said, just in a notebook, or even if it's in an Notion notebook, full list of categorizations that never go anywhere. I put it into projects because projects have a start and an end date. So that is also helping me to actually action all these items that I see or all these ideas is I put it in the project and that it will kind of, I set a calendar to just simplify it. But in reality, what I do is I use a Notion and I put it based on projects, based on the ideas or the things I want to develop, my personal brand, my business, any other thing. So it's all goes on projects. So it has a start and an end date and it's easy to follow up.
Yeah, I just wanted to add now that we were talking about learning from mistakes too, that I have a very good podcast that I can recommend. And it's called We Regret to Inform You, the Reaction Podcast. And it's the story of very successful people and it shows their failures.
Nice.
And it is amazing. It's like, for example, one story that really stuck with me was the Sarah Blakely, the creator of Expanse, the socks. I don't know. Expanse. Yes, thank you. Yeah, because she didn't know anything about marketing, about entrepreneurship. And it was by continuous learning that she was able to create her $1 billion empire. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to share this podcast with you all.
Yeah, share it in the group so we can all see it.
It's amazing. And it's like you keep learning each time how to make it better. And like I always say, it's like your brain and your mindset are like your most valuable assets because your mindset and your knowledge is something that nobody can take away from you. So yeah, I think this is like amazing.
And your experiences and that and your personal brand.
I know that in statistics, the person who had high marks in school, usually they are not so effective in life than persons who's got not so good marks because they understand how to fail all the time. So they just do it more and more times before they will be able to do this. And the person who has good marks, they just stop to doing because I'm not so good in this. Okay, I will stop.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Okay. I think we need to, because we have quite a few things still, and I don't know in terms of time. But I'm going to share with you some framework that I use for my human skills, or let's say to develop my human skills. I call it DEAR, because it's basically like 4 steps. The first one is to discover. So as we said at the beginning, is to assess and understand what are our needs, what is that we would like to, what we are, or a strength, let's say. For that, there is a website that I will be sharing with you in the reference. It's online, it's for free, and it's around 15 minutes survey, and it will tell you what are your key strengths. I'm sure we all know, but for example, in my case, it was about communication and leadership. That was one of the top 10. And so I was like, okay, nice. So now I know what are the strengths, and that will help me as well to then move forward with my personal brand and my business. So I will be sharing with you, but let's say the DEAR framework is to first to be aware what are your strengths, but also to evaluate your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities. So using the SWOT analysis, I don't know if you heard about it. Once we know what we need to act on, then we need to do, then we act on. As I said, it's good to accumulate all the knowledge and do all the study, but then take the action, because otherwise it goes nowhere. And then from time to time also review. Oh, do I need to upskill in anything that I need for my business or for my life? Anything new that I want to learn? And this will be, let's say, like a circle. Again, going back to the continuous learning, because we are evolving. So something that last year we thought it would be interesting, maybe now it's not. Or even the technology and the market is evolving. So it's always good to understand this as a framework that is a continuous learning and continuous improvement. Okay, now we're gonna stop and do a bit of a quick dynamic, because I mean, you've been collaborating with me, so that I appreciate that. It's not just me talking. So we wanna do a quick dynamic that it's called Show Me Your Skills. Basically, you will have, there is like post-it, and there's some pens somewhere. If you don't have it, Jamil will do. So basically, I'm gonna give you 1 minute to take one. Everyone has a pen? So I'm going to give you 1 minute, because I'm going to just ask you to choose one human skills that you think is the one that represents you the most. Just one. Write it down, and then we're going to do this quick dynamic. So 1 minute, if that's okay.
1 minute for one?
1 minute for one. Easy.
Just one?
Yeah, just one. Your main one, the one that would represent you. I put these ones that for me are the, let's say, the key ones or the most important one. But if you have another one that you think is more relevant for you, feel free. Just put this as a reference. You can choose one of these or just make your own.
The skill that is more important?
Yeah, or, yeah, that you think, your human skill, let's say, for example, in my case, I would say communication.
The skill that
Represents you the more.
But it means that it's a more unique skill.
Your unique skill. It could be somebody else, but for you is the one that resonates more with you.
It's like your skills, not the ones that you mentioned already. Yeah, exactly.
Okay. We should be doing this in circle, but we have too many people, so we're gonna stick it like that. I think it will work. Okay, 20 more seconds. A bit easy, just one. Yeah, it's easy.
What is the first one that comes into your head? This is the one.
Sometimes it's the one that you lack and the one that you want to have.
Now start with the one you have. The one you have. Yeah, everyone's done?
Yeah.
Good. So, no. You want to start? Because I see you closer. Okay. So, yeah, you stand up. You introduce yourself. You share your skill.
Okay. My name is Nuno. So I put here three.
It's fun. You need to pick up one.
Resilience.
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 Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Now I like you to take your sticky note and pass it to Noemi. Okay. And now you need to do the same.
I did not write down. That's why.
Why are you writing now?
It's in my head.
No, it's symbolic. You need to have this. It's symbolic. And now you introduce yourself and you pass it on.
Okay. Hi everyone. I'm Noemi. I'm French, and I pick up resilience as Nunu.
Resilience.
I'll take care here. I'm Renato. I'm Brazilian. I chose adaptation, but I don't know if that's the correct word I was looking for.
Adaptability.
Probably it's that. What I was trying to say is that, I don't know, when I start talking with Noemi, I try to level up the conversation for her. It's something that I try to do. Like, you like that? So we are talking about that. And it's, I don't know if that was the word, but
yeah,
that was what I was trying to do.
My name is Joana. I'm Portuguese, I'm from Lisbon. And I didn't really know how to say this into words, so I just said thinking outside of the box.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Creativity.
Yeah. But
it feels a bit like more.
No, but outside of the thinking outside of the box it's a skill. So.
Yeah. Okay.
Then pass it to Mark, yeah.
Hey, I'm Mark. I'm Spanish. I choose communication in terms of philosophical messages. So I love write poems and stuff. So sometimes I want to give some messages to the people, so in a right way. For example, I was asked and have a question when, for example, if I met you today and someone and you don't gonna see him or her again. So what is the message you gonna give to that person? Like a good message. What message is gonna give you to the other person, and then take it to back home and say, okay, maybe I thought to that guy that he told me some interesting things. So yeah, so I like the people, when the people is thinking. So let's share and then make the people thinking and get in a row.
Okay, so you share communication, be a colleague.
Hi everyone, I'm May. I also wrote down communication, but I don't think I'm as creative in my communication. So I like to think I'm better at the boring communication, right? Like the things you need to say to people to get from point A to point B, to communicate exactly what it is that you want to say and break it down and let it go. Or this kind of thing.
That's interesting because the idea of this game as well is that you're trying to work on a skill that is not your primary skills. So try to work on the skill that your colleague next to you has shared to you. But as you said, that you will also put communication, but not creativity communication. So maybe that's something that you can work on going forward.
Hi there, my name is Miguel. I picked curiosity, which is connected to open the experience, which is the first factor with the 5-factor model of personality.
Hey, I'm Eric, and I picked emotional intelligence because I found comfort in discomfort. I could just publish a book about the subject, so it's a perfect introduction. So yeah, and I'm from Germany.
It's not like German.
Because I'm more American.
Hi, I'm Monica. I'm from India, and I chose empathy because it resonates with me a lot. Because I love to help people, and I can feel their emotions more. So, and I wanted to go into a field in which I can help people, and so I will choose this.
Nice.
Yeah, thank you.
Give it to Alessa. Yeah.
Okay, my name is Alyssa, and I write intuition of possibilities. So usually I feel a lot about person, other persons, about situations, and I know what can happen. So that's why I'm a good strategist and I can do good marketing. But this is very interesting to live with these feelings. Sometimes scary, but okay, I'm with it. And I like to take empathy. I need it. I like this skill. Thank you. Thank you.
So, my name is Elroy, and I'm from Goa. And my thing is why. So, I always ask for why is it like this, why is it like this. I feel that allows me to penetrate and do things better.
Hi, my name is Zakaria. I'm from Morocco, but I grew up in Italy. And at the beginning, I was a little bit on the side because when I was writing this band didn't work, but I didn't give up. So I was on the side from resilience and creativity, but curiosity. And I think the main aspect maybe is curiosity because I like to listen people and to try to apply what they have to teach me because I think anyone can teach something and try to apply. You open mind. So the first point is
Thank you, Zach. You're missing it. Vamos, Felipe. Be careful.
Yeah. So my human skill that I think is most important for me is crazy thinking.
Crazy thinking.
Crazy thinking.
Okay, define us.
Yes. If I heard, for example, yesterday we was on a place called Open Coffee, and there was the guys showing some t-shirt products with magnets and the crazy thinking is that I was thinking a lot of ideas
For them, yeah.
for them. It's not overthinking.
No,
No.
it's creativity. You're an artist.
Sometimes not so creative ideas, but I think all the time I'm having ideas. I still have I have notebooks, and I'm like only this first semester I've already finished 4 notebooks. I'm on my fifth notebook. Yes, at the end of the year, I will see what I produce, what
Nice.
ideas I.
Artist. What an
You should
artist.
always step up. Yeah.
Maybe. Yes, but no, I don't have the patience for the bullshit stuff like you know. But thank you for the.
So, my name is Silo. I'm Portuguese, and the skill that I choose, it was communication. Okay, because I believe that's something that I already have been. I think it was born kind of with me because I love people. I love to talk with people. I love to attend these network meetings because I love to speak in English. I love the challenge, and I love because even in English sometimes the way you express yourself is completely different. So yeah, I believe communication probably it's one of the best skills I have. But of course, I always trying to learn more and trying to study mentors. I really believe in that method. I'm not very like what can I say? I really like to study successful people and always try to learn from everything, right? Wins and losses, and yeah, trying to take the best from 100 people and trying to build myself.
Make your own.
up.
Yeah.
And yeah, communication. That's my,
Perfect. Thanks
that's
for
my
sharing.
Okay, so my name is Sandra. I'm from Estonia, and I didn't see it there, but one word that always goes with me is authenticity, and it kind of goes with many of those skills. So I use authenticity for empathy. So when I'm authentic, people know that they can relax and they can be themselves, and also communication. So yeah. I think it's important to be authentic and really communicate the way you really are. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Carlos.
Stand up. Everyone did.
Okay, so I chose curiosity because I think it's my biggest trait, and also because I think everything starts with curiosity. I think curiosity is the mark of an advanced intelligence. Not only human, you see this animal that are curious, and I think you need to be curious to learn. I don't believe you can be taught of something, but you can learn everything.
Yeah.
So
Well said.
curiosity is of most of those categories.
Yeah. Okay.
Hi, my name is Marta. I'm from Brazil. My skill, resilience and empathy. Sorry, I not speak English. You do?
Yeah, you are? You are speaking.
Thank you and the opportunity.
Thank you.
What's the point of the game?
No, the point is that you should keep your.
Just the neighbor's one, yeah?
Yeah, just the neighbor one. Yeah.
Oh, I think they could mess up at some point.
Yeah, we have to blame
Just like there's
Ah, okay. You should keep your neighbor's one because you should. Okay.
I thought it was pretty nervy, not that bad.
No, I thought we had time to give you our
It's
Okay. Yeah.
Hey everyone, I'm Pablo. I'm from Ukraine, and so I was struggling actually with choosing the right words. So it's just first communication, then I adapted, and then I wrote flexibility and adaptability. Because I changed quite a lot of countries, I met quite a lot of people, and I feel like adapting to different cultures, languages, people, being exposed to them, also adapting to different situations, work-wise, life-wise, is very important to survive and to grow. So yeah, flexibility is my skill to connect with people and to grow.
Yeah. Okay.
My name is Chiara. I'm from the UK. I work in the events industry, so adaptability, communication,
All of them.
resilience.
What's your top one? Sorry.
Adaptability.
Adaptability.
Yes, because you're dealing with lots of different people all the time.
Yeah.
Managing expectations.
Well done. Thank you.
My name is Genevieve. I'm from the US and I chose communications. So, in my career, my background's in public health. And I would say that my sweet spot is communicating the complex health information that we all have seen on the news. We all just went through a pandemic together. So, to understand how do you discuss, how do you talk about something, but not only how do you communicate it with empathy with all these things, but then also how do you make it relevant and actionable by all of us. And I think that's one of the biggest things that we learned from the pandemic and from other health crises that we have right now is how do you do that work ethically well. And so the other sweet spot that I really had a wonderful experience being able to do is actually work with stakeholders in different communities to say, how would you say this?
Yes.
And if you are the trusted messenger, how would you like to meet people and meet them where they are? So it's a little bit of both, but complicated, translating the complex into actionable and also looking at people to meet people where they are to be there.
Thanks for sharing. Yeah.
Hi, my name is Hassan. So my background is little. I did my studies in the medical sciences and later on I switched in the engineering. And recently I did my master in the social sciences, but now I am doing the e-commerce business.
Okay.
So,
Good mix and match.
yeah. To choose curiosity, I'm trying to learn the new things, every day new cultures. So until I cannot understand or not learn the new things 70 to 80%, I did not skip and then I switched to another skill.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the idea is to
at least be aware of what's your top one, and then by you sharing with your neighbor as well to be able to identify another one that you could work on.
Hi everyone, I am Daniela and I am a digital project manager in a marketing agency. I chose curiosity and I used to believe that it was both my blessing and my curse because I just had too many interests. I was an engineer before I moved to marketing, so I pretty much like to know everything from physics to, social skills to human skills, poetry, music. So I think curiosity has allowed me. Now I make peace with the fact that it's actually a blessing because it is what allows me to do good in my job. I know a little bit of everything, so I am able to guide the team through the good paths. And yeah, I totally agree with what he says that everything starts with curiosity, and that's how you are like learning continuously by getting curiosity. You explore and you're open to more and more things and to the growth. Thank you.
All right. Okay. My name is Rui. I'm Portuguese, and I think I choose the adaptability and the empathy. Because I worked as a software developer for 15 years, and I decided to switch to a new area, which is the real estate agency. And for this new challenge, I think I need empathy.
Yeah.
Lots of
Okay.
and all this security is also necessary. So yes.
Thank you.
I can really use it because in like really I am mechanical engineer,
Okay.
but I don't speak English very well.
You do, you are.
Sorry.
You are.
I'm really good, yes.
You can check okay.
Go ahead. Good afternoon, everybody. It's Sergio. Actually, when I thought about skill, what is most about me, I couldn't find one because we have some kind of mix of them. But when you talk about when you're thinking it out of the box or intelligence or possibilities or something different, and even when you choose communication, you will have something unique inside of yourself. What is extremely yours. So I choose strategic thinking,
Okay.
and it helps me in my everyday job with clients and founders. But actually, it is based inside of me on my curiosity, on my creativity, on emotional intelligence, and a lot of different skills. And it's only 10% of iceberg
Yeah.
that we have.
That's good. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Victoria. I'm Romanian and I choose adaptability.
Okay.
It's a lot of challenges when you move to another country, and one of the last was moved to Portugal without any driving experience and without driving license. So I started learning here, and I obtained a driving license. And in September will be 1 year that I'm a driver, and yeah. So
Wow, congratulations. Well done.
Hello, my name is Thiago. I'm 22. I choose adaptability. Like a good example about surfing. I just started learning as well. So if you can, like, if you want to surf well, you need to learn to use every single wave you catch. So I think I'm like that in life as well.
Yeah, thanks for sharing.
There you go. So my name is Ivan. This is my hometown, but my family came from Mozambique a couple of years ago. And I choose empathy because normally I try to take care of people around me and listen. So I'm a good listener, and that's one of my skills. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
hi, I'm new, and I put something a little bit different because I think it's a way to cheat and like combine a couple. But I put I'm very proactive actually, and that means that if I see something could be done differently or it can be improved or we could try it a different way, I kind of don't wait for people to tell me what to do or to like say you can't do it or you can't do it. It's more like, oh, let's just try it, right? And I think that personally comes from curiosity of like, why are we doing it a certain way? Or empathy of like, oh, why can't we try it a different way?
Yeah.
Or different moves that people or adaptability, right? So for me, it's more like, okay, why don't we just get into it? And so I think that for me is always like, let's just try it, right?
Yeah.
Let's find out.
Well done. Thank you.
So what's the word?
Proactive.
Proactive.
I don't
Yeah.
know if it works, but
Proactivity.
Hi, my name is Chiara. I'm Portuguese. I think my skill is adaptability because I'm an open-minded person and I like to try many things to see what works best and to experience new things to see what makes me more happy. And no, I think it's more important than ever because I'm a programmer and I think my show will be automated by the artificial intelligence. Yeah, yeah, it's true that.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Edwin, and I chose curiosity, listening, so that makes me a quick learner, and it's easy for me to integrate a lot of information and have a strategic and global vision about things. And I talk a lot of languages, so
That's good.
that makes me even more curious.
Yeah.
Learning other things.
Thank you.
I'm an IT consultant.
Okay. Thanks for sharing. I'm behind you.
Hi everyone, I'm Lorena. I'm Puerto Rican. And of course, my word is communication. I am a language and communication coach. So, and an educator as well. So it was actually very difficult to pinpoint exactly which word I was going to choose. So I was a little bit between adaptability and communication. And of course, in the type of field that I'm in, you have to adapt to whatever needs people now. You know, your clients, your students, your colleagues, and well, you need to sort of be able to navigate through those. So, well, yes, those are my two words: adaptability and communication.
Thank you.
I'm from Spain, and my skill is strategic thinking. How to get there.
Yeah.
So I'm an engineer, that's playing a thing, but I always see that everyone has, oh, I want to learn how to play guitar. I want to get fit. I want to finish my project. I want how. And sometimes we are so curious, we would rush to that to get the outcome in maybe not the most optimal way. And also we practice this a lot. We forget the strategic part. For example, in communication.
Yeah.
What do we want to? What is the outcome you are searching for? In this effective communication, is just being remembered, is being is so the things getting anything from the other person is offered something to the other person. We forget this kind of thing, and strategy sounds like a bit cold, but you can apply that to every aspect in your life. I'm sorry. I'm not yet.
Thank you, Juan.
So my name is Dana. I'm originally from Romania, but I lived in Italy, Belgium. I live here, and I'll join the adaptability club. Because like living in all these different countries, it's not only this. You have to adapt to a lot of different situations. You have to learn like skills that you've never thought of before, like driving or anything else, cooking or stuff. I think I expanded this adaptability a bit in other areas of my life because, like, at work with customers, we work with the customers from different industries, different countries. So you always have the angry ones. So you have to adapt. You have to understand why they're angry and so on. And ultimately, also to my personal life, because I have partners like from
of different religions and from different exotic countries, and it's exotic. It looks fun, but it's a lot of adapting.
Yes. Jamil, you want to share?
Yeah. Okay, I didn't make the paper, but oh, thank you. I think that I emotionally intelligent. Because first I have to understand me, what I need to learn, how communicate, how adaptability, how resilient, because everybody has some down and you have to be strong to go that up.
Yeah.
I have to be emotionally intelligent, to be empathy too. So I think that emotionally intelligent I am.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Wow, it was super interesting. I think this exercise also kind of help us to get to know each other, and maybe we know each other from other meetups or other events, but I think that thank you for opening up as well with all of you, because I think I'm learning a little bit more about you today, so thanks for that. Myself is communication, yeah, I'll say communication, yeah, so at the beginning.
Public speaking.
Public speaking, yeah, well, okay. Time management for sure it's not. So let's say the main topic, that's why we spend more, it's about human skills, because I think that's where everything starts. It's art from deep inside us. The second part is about building your brand, your personal brand. I'll go a bit quick, but maybe I think I could do a whole talk about it. And the other day, with Daniela as well, we were at the beach and I was like, yeah, I'm going to do the talk. I'm going to speak about da, 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 da. And I was like, well, maybe that's too much. I have but so that's why I want to share with you a bit of my framework about personal branding, because it's a topic that I'm in love with. As I said, I started my entrepreneurship career 2 years ago, but I had no clue about that, but I was kind of trying to reading books about personal branding, listening to podcasts, and at the end, last year I decided to do a course on personal branding, and I have to say that since then my career kind of exploded, because I think it's super important, personal branding, not just for people that are entrepreneurs. Even if you're an employee, you need to have your personal brand if you want to grow inside the company. If you're an entrepreneur, of course, because you need to serve yourself out of that. But even we can see the CEOs, for example, Jeff Bezos. He is like super famous on X, on LinkedIn, even more than any of his companies. He has more followers than the company itself, and he's using his personal brand to sell the products. So I think personal branding is something that we should all have, no matter our position and our roles. And it all starts actually with our human skills, who we are, what are your values, what are our strengths, and what makes us unique. A bit what Olesa was saying before. Yeah, I marketing, I studied marketing, but then I like astrology. How can I apply astrology with marketing and make my profile unique? Because there are lots of marketers out there. So if we want to be successful in the AI area, we need to try to find our niche. What makes us special? What makes us unique? And that is a mix of our human skills, or experiences, or knowledge. In theory, it's what I call personal brand, but it's a bit of a mix and match of everything. And that's why I wanted to highlight these three things. So first I said who we are, what's our values, okay? And then I talked about Ikigai. I think most of you already know about Ikigai. When I read this book, for me it was a game changer completely. Definitely I would recommend it to you. I'm going to Japan I can't go to Okinawa, because that part of the book as well goes to Okinawa, because it's not always talking about what's your purpose. Ikigai in Japanese means your purpose, but it also talks about how to make or have a happier life and a healthier life. So But mainly the ikigai, or your purpose, when we apply to the business or to, it means 4 things. First, you need to know what you like, what you want to do. I love surfing, for example. What you're good at. I'm not good at surfing, so I can't be a surf instructor. So forget about it. So I said,
You can.
I could, yeah. I have if I train hard, I can be
a coach and a terrible surfer.
Yes, but there you go. Perfect. Yeah, I love that. So yeah, first you need to understand what you like, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what you can be paid off. So you have to have these 4 things. In my case, for example, I found my ikigai by chance because, as I said, I studied languages at the university. I had nothing to do with IT. By chance, I ended up in an IT consulting team, and since then I've been 15 years working in IT, and I'm an IT expert. And now I work as a vendor manager, so I help my clients to measure the performance of their suppliers and manage the relationship. How did I do that? It's based on, as well, my experience. I was always good to communicating with people. So good with people. So now my position is I'm between the suppliers and the clients. So that kind of fits with my profile. So something that I like because I love my job, something I'm good at, something that can be the world's needs, because more and more companies are outsourcing services and they not always have processes to measure their suppliers accordingly. So I found my niche there. And then, of course, they can pay me. So this is my ikigai. I will invite you, if you don't know about your ikigai, to think about it, and think about it also that it's not something that is strict. It can evolve as we people, we are evolving. Maybe in a few years' time, I don't want to be a vendor manager anymore. I want to be a public speaker, professional speaker to talk about human skills only. Well, I can evolve on that. And so personal branding and ikigai can also evolve over time. But again, going back to my DEAR framework, it's important to have these regular check-ins with yourself about what are the things I like to learn? What are my strengths, my weaknesses, my opportunities, my threats? Okay, let's act on it. And let's evaluate. So it's important that we have these regular check-ins with each other as well from time to time. And at the end, for me, the other key thing about personal branding is to try to find a problem and a solution to it. In my case, for example, as a vendor manager, I realized that big companies are spending millions in suppliers, but they don't really have a process to measure them. So, okay, I can go, because I work with big companies, I can get, and that's what I did now, I got the best out of each of them, and I kind of create, as Celia was saying, I took how PepsiCo works here, and Nestle, and Dana, and I was like, oh, the good things and the bad things, and so I'm creating my own framework, and this is what I'm using now to sell other businesses. So that's my niche. So it's important for you to understand, pick up one problem, find a solution, and then create all your personal branding and your product around it. So these are the 3 key things. I can talk the whole night about personal branding because I really love it. I don't know if you have any questions.
So should we create content around that, and what type of content?
Ooh, I can talk hours about it. It depends. It depends because once you have identified who you are, your ikigai, and when you identify your problem, you need to identify one person, one avatar. So who is that person that you are going to help that has this problem, and you have that solution to take that person from A to B. Where is that person? Maybe this is a person that is on Instagram. So you need to do an analysis of the age, the gender, the salary that person gets, trying to understand where that person is and just create content. My advice would be, if you're starting with personal branding, start choosing one social media. Could be Instagram, it could be LinkedIn. For me, the best one is LinkedIn, for sure. I'm in love with this tool, and I can also have another talk about LinkedIn, because for me, it's super powerful. But in my case, I'm focusing more on businesses. So I do business to business. So I create all my content on LinkedIn, because I know my potential clients will be there. But if you are surf instructor, maybe you don't go to LinkedIn, you go to Instagram, and then you create your content on Instagram. My advice would be first to identify your avatar. What are the problems from the avatar? So one good exercise I did in my course that I'm still using it is have a list of 100 problems that my avatar has. List them down.
So the avatar, it's your public?
Your potential client. Your potential client, your client, the person that you want to help. So in my case, for example, are companies or big companies that have big budget on IT, but they don't really have a standardized vendor management framework. So once you have that person, identify that you put your ideal client.
And you suggest you find
100
problems
you can use
that your client.
You can use ChatGPT for that. You don't have. I mean, you think about it, but in my case, I use ChatGPT. Of course, the results weren't 100%, but it gives you a quick list. And then use that to create content. And your content should be touching their pain points and guiding your product as the solution for the pain points.
And also, it's.
Sorry, Daniela.
Continue. I want to say that you better than you start from one audience, one avatar, one product, one solution, one niche of business, and one social media, because it's better to concentrate your expertise for a few months or 6 months for one niche, one audience, one avatar.
And also to test it, because maybe your solution is not 100% accurate to solve the problem, but once you start creating content, you receive feedback from the people, and then you can adapt and evolve your product to fit their needs. So that's why it's important to create content around it and trying to grow your audience.
Daniela, sorry.
That's okay. So I actually was curious about how you got to your own method, because we can identify a lot of problems, but I guess I just was curious about how were you able to put all of these things together to create your solution to stand out for probably other solutions that already exist. I've heard a lot in the marketing world that sometimes you don't need to invent the wheel. Sometimes you can be based on something that already exists. But I'm curious, in your experience, how was this process? How was your thinking process into your own methodology?
Okay, but just to complement on that, you don't have to reinvent the wheel if you already have something that is working. But again, going back to your experiences that make you unique, because you may have other project managers that using the same standard PM methodology, but I'm sure there's less project managers that have been previously engineers, that have worked in many countries, that speak several languages. So you need to pick your experience and what makes you unique to create your personal brand. And I think even you can leverage from other methodologies, but make your own, which is a bit what I did as well. In my case, my niche is super, super niche. So I haven't really found anything similar on vendor management. They're standard vendor management processes, but they're more related to procurement. So I'm focusing more on vendor management, vendor relationship. So it's not exactly the same. And my thinking process was about, thanks to this course that I did on personal branding, they give us some tips on how to create a framework. Again, as I said, starting from the problems and then kind of categorize them into groups. And then I realized that most of the problems fell into these 4 categories. In my case, Well, my name is SGAR. It's actually my real name is Sanchez Garcia, but I kind of merge it, and now I put my framework. This was something before, because my initial framework, the name was partner, because you have to have some steps, and then based on those steps, like some categories, and then based on that, some steps. And I was like, when I was showing to my mentors, like, partner, that has lots of steps, and then some of them maybe are duplicated. You should like stick it to 3 or 2, and that it'd be easier just to, and actually I was with a friend in Sri Lanka this year, and she was like, but why you don't call it SGAR? Because SGAR was my nickname in social media that I put in my Facebook when I did it in 2009. So nobody from work could find me. If they're gonna say Celia Sanchez, they couldn't find on Facebook or on Instagram. So my nickname on social media was Celia SGAR. But now I'm using Celia SGAR as my personal brand, because I managed to put my framework on vendor management and fit it into these 4 categories: sourcing, governance, assessment, and relationship. So it was, yeah, chance, or sharing with people. So yeah, that's a bit of my story.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Sit up.
About that topic of like reinventing the wheel, there is true, like nowadays we're always trying to be creative and trying to always try to be different, and sometimes forget the basics, right?
Yeah.
And try to understand what works, right? And for example, you asked like how you could create content, right? I think the best way is always trying to find inspirations, people that are creating content that you identify yourself with their values, right? And trying to do your thing, and trying to imitate some stuff, and trying to build your brand,
Yep.
right? It's the same as if you want to start in the gym. There's no big thing. Just try to find some people, personal trainers online that have some stuff. Try to see a little bit of them. Try to do it, right? If you want to become the best football player, try to learn from the best football players, right? So yeah, and I have a question. So we're talking about adaptability as a human skill that is very important, but is important as well in the AI area. We adapt as well and use AI in your life.
If you want to be more efficient, yes.
But even not just more efficient, but for example, adaptability was the topic that you spoke.
Yeah.
There's a quote from Charles Darwin that says, "It's not the strongest species or the okay, it's not the strongest."
The one that can adapt.
Yeah, basically, it's not it's not the strongest species or the most intelligent. It's the one more adaptable to change,
Mhm.
right? And the thing is to use AI, because if we don't use it, if we don't adapt to this era, right, we kind of will left behind, right?
For me, yes.
What's your
My opinion is that we should embrace AI, because lots of people, as I said at the beginning, are afraid of losing their jobs. But from my point of view, there's one game and there's 2 sides. Either you're gonna complain about the fact that AI is gonna steal your job, or you can embrace it and grow with it. I'll choose to embrace it and grow with it, because I think it would be is the best.
You kind of you don't compete with the AI, you cooperate with this.
Yeah, you copilot. I like the word that Microsoft put to the AI tool, copilot.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
They're basically making us more efficient and better if we know how to use it. Again, going back to communication, it's a human skills. If you don't put a right prompt, the results won't be better. But if you write a proper prompt with lots of details, you can get amazing results from AI. Sorry, Zach.
For the things that you said before, start with the problem. But how did you find the problem? Did you create a framework or something?
Experience. Just start with your own experience. What problem, in my case, for example, what problem do I have myself?
You find that a big company spend or wasted a lot of money for some process. But normally, if someone have to develop a personal brand or something, do you know if there is some somehow to find a problem and create.
I will start with your experience because your
Only
personal
experience.
I will start with that, yeah. Because I think that's where you identify something that you are capable to solve. Because again, your experience, you need to identify the problem, then you need to be able to provide a solution for it. To have a solution for it, you need to have some skills and some experience. So I will start with something that you have experienced yourself.
Okay. Because someone told me, for example, I saw something similar on YouTube and when I was studying, and I find that a market research, they did a lot of market research or something. But you told, for example, I just have to spend a lot of time on working because I have some type on digital marketing, and every time I find different problems.
But then you need to go to your ikigai. What is the thing that you will enjoy solving? What's the problem that you enjoy solving that you can provide to other people? So going back to you.
Looking this way?
You, yes.
Okay.
Like I know the purpose, the values, because of I'm doing that, but I don't have a experience like skill, but it's my life experiences. So I want to start that with my life experience. So it doesn't matter. We need to have some other skills.
No, it doesn't matter. I mean, lots of people also, especially on the coaching space, there are people that said, okay, I've been through this problem. This is how I solve it. And I want to help you to do the same in the same way to achieve to the stage where I am. So that's perfectly fine. Okay. Yeah. Sorry.
And one last thing that I'm thinking a lot about. Usually, the thing that we do best of others with smallest time, it's the thing that is important for other people and for this world. But we think that it's useless because it's so easy for us.
Yeah.
So think everybody from us can think what I can do very easily with small time that other will do not like me.
They will help others. Yeah.
Yes, they will had a lot. They need a lot of time to do the same. And these things I should like to do.
Yeah.
So two things: what I like to do that is very easy for me, and it take not so much time. Sometimes you understand that other people will need this thing.
Yeah, for me, when I started creating content, I was super scared of putting myself in front of the camera and to write. What I'm gonna write on LinkedIn, I'm just a woman that started in IT. I have no technical background, so imposter syndrome was all over me. But at the end, I realized that there's some people it was my version of myself. When I write, I try to think in the Celia 2-3 years ago. What were the needs? What she would like to learn 3 years ago, and now I know. So it doesn't matter how big is your experience. Even if it's a small one, you can also help people that are a few steps behind you. So don't be afraid and expose yourself to develop your personal brand, because that is what's going to make us irreplaceable. And I think it's already on time. I have a commitment here, but I will be sharing this. So I have one homework for you, because as I said, there's no point that you come here and you're spending 2 hours of your time. Listen to me talking about human skills and personal branding. I really want you to leave this room with a commitment. So I want you to take your phone and write down a commitment that you're gonna do about your personal brand or your human skills, that you are going to commit in a short time, 1 to 3 months, 3 months to 1 year, and 1 to 2 years.
It's like a goal?
It's a commitment.
Okay.
Something, for example, in my case, I wanna have a B1 on Portuguese by the end of the year. That's my commitment.
But in this case, it's with the personal branding, right?
It could be personal branding, human skills, a bit of what we talked today.
So I
So.
can see it like a goal, right? Making
Yeah.
a commitment with a goal.
Yes, with again, not just an idea or a list of to do. It's a deadline. So it's like a project. I was saying, you have a start and you have an end date.
Like something that improves yourself.
Yes, that will make you better. Just one, even if it's one for each.
You're going after us.
I will. I'll got your names. This has been recorded, so I know most of you. I'm gonna follow it up. And it's recorded as well. So
Let's do the challenge.
yeah, challenge accepted.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What is the prize?
We'll tell you later. There will be a prize.
Your growth.
All growth.
Our growth.
All growth. Yeah, that's the. Okay, so I think with that we are done.
Do you have more?
Yes, I have. I have a Q&A as well. So, but we have a lot of Q&A as well. So I think.
The other one is 1 to 2 years, right?
Sorry?
The third one.
1 to 2 years.
Yeah. 1 to 2 years. Okay. You don't have to do it now, but please take a picture, make a note, and do it at home quietly. But please make this commitment.
Call to action.
Celia have the list of each one of here.
Yes.
She will contact.
And it's recorded, so I'm watching all of you. Okay, thank you. So, thanks.